Hey guys, how you doing? Mike, Pratt Family Homestead. Today we're going to talk about canning goat meat. So tonight I'm breaking down another one of our goats. We're thinning our goat herd, and this is now, I don't know, the third or fourth goat I've butchered. This one's going to hang overnight though, but right now we're going to go can the meat from the goat that was butchered last night. So let's get going on that. And while it's canning goat meat, this can pretty much pertain to just about any meat, but you do want to check the ball book or check the was it National Home Center for Food Preservation? I know I got that wrong, but I'll put it right there on the bottom. And make sure you're doing it correctly. But basically, we raw pack, no added liquids. Jenny refuses to eat goat, and I'm perfectly fine with that. That's her choice. It doesn't bug me. That's her deal, and it's okay. It is okay. Me, I like the goat meat. I'm not real good at describing flavors, but I don't know. It's not beef, it's not venison, but I mean, it's in there, you know? I mean, it's meat, it's red meat. And my understanding is goat is the #1 red meat in the whole world. Beef is like a Western thing for the most part, is my understanding. Now, other things I've done in the past, which I might do with tonight's goat, this guy. What I might do with this guy is I've made chilies, I've made soups, I've made stews. I followed the Ball Book's beef stew recipe, but I made it with goat last year. I still have some of those jars on the shelf. I just finished the last goat chili. It seems like I did something else, but I'm missing some seasonings and stuff. So even with what we're going to can up tonight, I may not can all of it. I may save some of this tonight so that I can have some of that ready to eat stuff like soups and stuff for later on. Let's just go see what I ended up doing. All right, guys, I'm going to talk quiet. The rest of the family is sleeping, so I may actually end up having to do a voiceover. But here's what I did earlier today. Already got the meat off these bones, and this is about 8.5 pounds of meat. So what I'm going to do to speed things up tonight, because it is late. Oh, I'm sorry, and this cut up is all about 8 pounds. This is about 5, I believe, and this all together is about 8 pounds. I'm going to get about another 1.5 pounds of meat to come up with 10 pounds. So I'll cut up another 1.5 pounds or 2 pounds, somewhere in there, and we'll get 10 jars going in the canner as soon as we can, because it's already late. Since I'm in a hurry, I could just hack some of this off. In fact, I'm going to. I'm not going to make this pretty. I'm in a hurry. What I've really been enjoying about doing butchering lately is getting these muscle groups off, getting roasts off in a big muscle group. But I'm going to pass that up tonight. I'm going to get 2 pounds of meat off. I'm going to get it on here, and we're going to get to canning ASAP. So yeah, like I said, even though I'm canning this, I'm going to end up cubing this into 1-inch cubes. That one might be a hair big, but I do still enjoy trying to get all this off at once. But like I said, I'm in a hurry tonight. It is super late, so I think we're just going to work on getting meat off. We are up to almost 1/2 pound right there alone. I mean, even that right there is not too awful. What is that? 1.5 pounds. Okay. There we go. I will clean this up later and finish getting that meat off. But right now, I want to concentrate on getting this stuff into the canner. Look at that. That is some good looking meat right there. Holy moly. Okay, so what I've decided to do is I'm going to use some of TJ's Mexican spice blend seasoning, and I'd like to use at least 5 jars, but I don't want to use all the seasoning that he worked to make, so we'll see how much I can spread it out. Also, this is the last of my pint jars available. That's kind of sad. That might put some different plans on some different stuff. So basically we're going to pack the meat into here. We're going to raw pack it. I'm going to add 2.5 teaspoons of this to the bottom of I'm hoping up to 5 jars. Then we're going to get them going in the pressure canner. Now, we're not heating any of this up. We're not heating the pressure canner up right now. This is all going to come up to temp together. I don't have time to heat everything up, and it really doesn't matter. It's just going to start from a cold state instead of starting from a hot state. So it's going to take longer to warm up and come up to temperature and all that good stuff. So let's start filling some jars. All right, found the teaspoon. Oh my gosh, I just figured out what I'm going to do with the other 5. We can pulled pork, so it won't... Yeah, I'm going to do it anyways. The other 5, I'm going to flavor with my homemade rub. But I won't have any smoky flavor to it. That'll be all right. That'll be all right. I don't have any liquid smoke, and I don't even know if I use liquid smoke, but I'm going to use my homemade rub in the other 5 jars because I've got a ton of plain goat already canned up out there, so this will just kind of jazz it up a little. I got my homemade rub. You can see the recipe bags in there. But so there's no confusion, I'm going to fill those ones up later. So let's start loading up let's load up these 5 jars. All right, we are going for a 1-inch headspace here. We want to pack this in there pretty good. It's going to make it too much. Now, just a handy little tool lets you know. Okay, I think that's good. Okay, it came out to 15.2 ounces, so about a pound. All right, since I'm going to have 2 different kind of flavors going on, I'm going to go with the rings put on these ones, and I'm going to just mark these rings with a black magic marker to tell me that those are the Mexican spice blend ones. And then I'll probably have to come back and look at this video clip to remind me of which one's which. But you want to wipe these rings off. While you're doing so, you're kind of looking and feeling for any chips or nicks or anything, and you don't want to touch it with your finger. I've been told that oils from your finger can actually prevent it from sealing correctly. We use, this paper towel is wetted with vinegar. We use vinegar to wipe these off. Also, don't touch the rubber part on there. Don't want your oils on that either. Ooh, one lid short. Let me go grab another one. Okay, and then we're going to go finger tight. Okay, so I could, to label these, I could, see this is a gold ring and more of a silver ring. I could go dig out all gold rings for this flavor, but yeah, I'm not going to. I'm just going to put a black dot on here. And that is going to tell me it is Mex. All right, let's set these aside for the canner. I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to do 2 tablespoons. Or teaspoons, 2 teaspoons. See how it comes out. Okay, I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna fill these up and get them ready for the canner. Now, we're going to get about 2 inches of water in here. With a lot of times with these recipes, if you've heated everything up, we would have already had this going. But like I said, we're going to bring everything up from cold and have it go. But we want about 2 inches of water in here. And then we'll throw our jars in. Getting 10 to fit in here will depend on the kind of jars. I forget what exactly the rule Jenny figured out was, is that I think you need 2 jars in the middle like this one that have no, you need 2 jars in the middle like this one that have no texture. For whatever reason, 2 of those will fit in the middle. Hopefully I have 2 of those. I haven't, here's one. Nope, this one has texture too. So I'll have to play with that and see what I can come up with. So we're just going to start placing these in here. Boy, that video's bad. Shedding some light on the subject helps a little. So we're going to get all 10 of these placed in there and see how it comes out. Yay! We have 10 jars in there. Whoop, whoop. All right. Get this turned on. I'm going to turn it on now. We need to get the lid on. All right. While that's heating up, I want to talk to you about the weighted gauge. I forget how this works exactly. Well, I mean, I know how this works, but I forget if the base weight is 5 pounds, I think. And then you add this one and it becomes 10 pounds. And you add this one and it becomes 15 pounds. If you look up Somerset, Michigan, it says that the elevation is over 1,000 feet. And that's the township I'm in. So we can at 15. We do the 15-pound weight. And we are doing pints. So we will be doing 1 hour and 15 minutes. All right, yep. That did not take long at all. So now we're going to set this on here. And this, when it gets up to temperature, it's going to sit here. When it gets up to pressure, it's going to rattle. And when that rattling starts, that's when we start the hour and 15 minutes. All right, hour and 15 minutes. Let's get going on it. I also know my stove, and I know I can turn this way down now, and it'll keep rattling. I turn that stove way down, but if this were to stop rattling, or if your pressure were to go below what you're supposed to be canning at, you have to bring it back up and start your time all over again. Remember that. That's important. So if I turn this down too far and this stops rattling, I got to turn the heat back up, get it rattling again, and start the timer all over again at 1 hour and 15 minutes. Good stuff to know. I'm really happy with how this turned out. I can't wait to break into one of these and taste it. I'm going to let the kids know what I did, and they will probably grab them for lunches. The final thing we're going to do is this has been sitting for, well, it hasn't been 12 hours yet, so theoretically I should not be handling it. But I'm going to let it sit for a couple more hours, and then we're going to wipe off the jars, take the rings off, wipe the lids off. Well, take the rings off, wipe everything off, and then get it labeled. Easy peasy.